Installing macOS on a virtual machine. Running macOS on a virtual machine allows you to test applications, experiment with macOS features, or develop software for Apple devices without needing a physical Mac. However, installing macOS in a virtual machine is more complex than installing Windows or Linux due to Apple's hardware restrictions. In this lesson, we'll guide you through the complete step-by-step process of installing macOS in VirtualBox and VMware. Step 1. Understanding system requirements. Before installing macOS in a virtual machine, ensure your system meets the following requirements. Processor, a modern Intel or AMD CPU with virtualization-enabled VTX AMDV. macOS runs best on Intel CPUs due to compatibility. RAM, at least 8 GB of RAM, 16 GB or more recommended for better performance. Disk space, at least 50 GB of free disk space to store the macOS virtual machine. Hypervisor, VirtualBox or VMware Workstation. Step 2. Downloading macOS ISO file. Unlike Windows and Linux, Apple does not provide direct ISO downloads. Instead, you must create an ISO image from an official macOS installer. If using a Mac, you can download macOS from the App Store and create an ISO using terminal commands. If using Windows, tools like gibmacOS can be used to generate a macOS ISO file. Step 3. Creating a macOS virtual machine in VirtualBox. 1. Open VirtualBox and click New to create a new virtual machine. 2. Name the VM macOS and set the type to macOS X. 3. Assign at least 4 CPU cores and 8 GB of RAM. 4. Create a virtual hard disk of at least 50 GB. 5. Attach the macOS ISO file to the VM storage settings. 6. Apply additional compatibility commands using Command Prompt. Step 4. Installing macOS in VirtualBox. 1. Start the macOS VM and open Disk Utility. 2. Erase the virtual hard disk using APFS format. 3. Install macOS on the newly formatted disk. 4. Complete the macOS setup after installation. Step 5. Installing macOS in VMware Workstation. 1. Create a new virtual machine and select Apple macOS X as the OS type. 2. Allocate 4 CPU cores, 8 GB RAM, and 50 GB disk space. 3. Attach the macOS ISO file. 4. Modify the VMX file to enable macOS support. 5. Start the VM and install macOS following the same steps as in VirtualBox. Step 6. Installing VMware tools or VirtualBox guest editions. To improve performance. In VirtualBox, insert the guest editions CD and install it inside macOS. In VMware, install VMware tools from the menu and restart the VM. Final steps. Your macOS virtual machine is now fully functional. You can customize macOS settings, install Xcode for development, and take snapshots to save your VM state. Running macOS in a virtual machine is a great way to explore its features without dedicated Apple hardware. In the next lesson, we'll cover backing up and cloning virtual machines using snapshots.